Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is create a React app using the npx command. So npx create React app, and we'll just call it hooks. And then we'll wait for that to install. Okay, now that that's done, let's go ahead and cd into the directory. So cd hooks. Then I'm going to open this folder. Now let's go ahead and start the application. We'll use npm start. Let's pull this in the screen. Now the app is up and running. Let's go ahead and clear out all of the kind of boilerplate code that we have on the main page. So we'll go to our app.js file. Let's just clear everything from header out. Okay, let's just add an H1 here so we can see that it's running. Save it, wait for the page to refresh. We see up and running onto the right here. All right, let's clear this out. Now what we're going to do is actually import useState and useEffect from React. So we'll add it on line 1. useState, useEffect. Now let's go ahead and set up our useState call. So on line 4, we're going to use array destructuring to create our useState call. And the way this works is that you use two values, one for the state variable that you want and the other for the function you want to update the state variable. So we'll do count and set count, say useState, and we can set a default value here. So we're going to start off with, say, 12. This can be anything. It could be a string if you wanted to. It could be an object. But since we're doing count, we're just going to use the number 12. Now let's go ahead and use this count in our app. I'm going to add this on line 9. I'm just going to add a p tag and say our count is, we'll insert our count. Let's save it. What we should see is that our count shows on the right. Let me go ahead and increase this a bit so we can see better. Okay, now our count's 12. If we were to actually change the value and save it, let's say 11, this is going to change to 11 here. Now that our count variable is working, we're going to start working on our useEffect call. So the way to do this is just call useEffect. We call an arrow function, open it up, and then we can do something inside this useEffect call. Now let's go ahead and log out our count from the useEffect call. So console.log count, and I'm going to remove this from the DOM. Let's go ahead and save this. We'll open up our console. Let me move this to the bottom. And you see that our count shows as 11 here. Let's go ahead and increase this for you. Let's go ahead and use this 12 just to show you that it's changing. And let's make this a little nicer. We'll add some template strings and say count is, and add the variable here. Okay, so now that the count's working, next thing we want to do is actually increment the count. Let's go ahead and add a button. And we're going to add an on-click event. So every time we click this button, we want to run our setCount function. So we have to open an arrow function, and we say on-click setCount, and what we're going to do is take the state variable count and add 1 to it every time the button is clicked. Now, when we click this button, it should increment our default state from 12 to 13, and then every time we click it, it should increment by 1. And the way the useEffect call works is that it actually runs every time the state is updated. So when we click the button, it's going to increment our count, and then it's going to console log our count. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's save it. Let's add some text. Increment count. Say reload. Now we see that the count is 12. We click increment count, it should go to 13, and so on. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.